So AD is itself a big system. You can use a PowerShell script and these scripts to generate some attributes. Has 100 plus attributes, right? You know, given name, that is your first name as an user. Last so many attribute, right? So some attribute value we generate directly on the AD system based on the script logic. Okay, so previously, if you talk about the legacy approach, what they were like, how they were doing that from the HRMS, they are put like when they were not using the actually as IAM solution. Right, this was the approach from the HRMS. They have only first name, last name, the basic detail, normal detail of the user. Now when user data fetch on the AD system, basically write AD system will pull this data using script. At this time, based on the user first name, last name or any other attribute, they generate different attribute, for example. One common example is email. They generate email user first name, last name @domain.com, whatever domain. So this is how they create. Previously both were using like a same approach, so that's why we have a script here that is generating few attributes, right? But here in case, what we are doing. Basically, in the birthright application, we are creating account based on the organization requirement. If they have to want to generate some attribute on the AD system, we will write down those script. Basically, we will not edit it, we'll write down those script on the AD system. So whenever you user account created, we have to generate email, so they have to write down the script. It is only storing your identity information, but it's not giving you full flexibility that you can do n number of things right. So, for example, HRMS is also storing your information right, it is also storing information. ServiceNow has its own database. ServiceNow is also storing information. Like. For example, you have Facebook account, right? So Facebook is also storing your first name, last name, your information, right? But it does not mean that they are the management's provider. Because purpose of it is totally different. Right, it is a dietary service. Dietary service, purpose totally different. ServiceNow, purpose totally different. But Sailpoint purpose is designed mainly to handle identity and to work and provide features around the identity. So previously it was like a normal thing, but now, when we had this, okay, let me see this. When we have this approach right from the HRMS, we are bringing data first into Sailpoint and from the Sailpoint we are bringing data into DataAdd. So now you cannot trust add data because there's a layer. So now the system is no more, a trusted source. Previously it was trusted because original data was directly coming into this system. Then it was flowing into different system. But here, if you see, we totally replace Sailpoint with the add, so HRMS data is directly coming to Sailpoint. Before any IAM solution, even the old IAM solution, this was the 99, this was the approach HRMS will directly, HRMS data will go to directly add and to the add or user management will be basically, handled from the add system. So this in this joiner process, say, 5 users to be joined right, for all those 5 users, joiner event will be triggered. There will be a request ID number generated in the backend, but this is totally an automated manner. No manual interface is required. No one needs to trigger something. This is totally 100 automation. But for the tracking purpose, ID will be generated. Here you will see ID and all those things that this ID, this joiner, is triggered for on this user. On this date, every single detail will be captured. But the triggering part will be 100 automation. The HRMS system will not contain the application details. So basically, if you see, first thing, I want to clarify the first part first. So HRMS is now replaced by a Workday system. Right company is also paying a huge cost to Workday team right. So now the HRM system is no longer like a simple database that they will have only first name, last name. Now, they have a complete list of attribute here in the system right now when this data is coming into Sailpoint now, based on the business logic. Okay, we have to write down those business logic here. Okay, if you user belong to this location, this department, we have to assign add application. If user belong to this, this department, we have to assign no application like that, right? So some application which will be applicable to all user and some will be based on role, responsibility, or department, etc. So we need to write down those information so that is actually handled in the Sailpoint system and the rule will be applicable to all the user. But I have never seen that HRMS is providing us that list of application that we need to provide this because see HRMS teams again, they don't have technical knowledge. What is add, what is no? So team, the at team, the, CISO and all those guys provide us okay, if all the users joining new joiner, we have to provide this access to the new joiner. So when we talk about the automation is basically whatever manual process that we are following everyday user join right. So we are manually assigning add as no, and this is application right. So, basically, the general thing, that which is applicable to everyone, right, we have to. We are removing the manual effort. And we are handling the automation through script, programming language or some software technology, right? So same thing for the joiner. So whatever is a basic thing, right? That is, we need to provide to all the users that we will handle through a joiner, but in case of some other access which is, totally a doc request, for that reason, Sailpoint, provide this console here, manage access, manager, access through which we can request based on our need. So whenever new user joiner, let's say employee, the script will automatically trigger, based on the data that we have configured for the employee and same for the contractor. But first, we need to get those information from the business team, from the at team, from the team, from the compliance team. Okay, that this is what we are doing. It generally every organization have their process right in the document. Okay, that this is how we are following, but we are more enhancing, we are more, involving different team from all perspectives, security, compliance, automation, time effort. And then we are putting that final process here in the Sailpoint. So mostly it is done by the BA, because, BA, this is the main job of BA right, interacting with different team and get all information and place in one place, then provide to a technical team. Then again we do a discussion based on the complexity, or, sometimes we feel that, okay, this should not be done like this way. Then we reach out to those teams again, including Virginia generally, it is very easy a configuration, especially for those applications which are popular in the market, for example Active. Every organization is using Active Directory. For the Active Directory or Sailpoint is even in the new release. In the average release, you will see a big section on the Active Directory, what they have improved, whatever. What is the new plan that they are doing for the Active Directory application? And then you have a service, now right, which is again a widely used system. So, those systems which are widely used, they are providing complete solution for those application. In case, if you face any issue, you go to communicate a community, you will write down your issue or you can search the existing issue. You will see the solution there. So any new application, I mean when I say new application, any, popular technology. If you are integrating with a Sailpoint, it's very easy to do that. But if a very legacy application which was like earlier, was introduced in earlier 20s, You know that will not support here 100% and you might face many issues from the irrigation perspective segment is, quite fast. Compared to other tools, it's very fast and every time they are improving. If you see the new release every time, you will see they have improved the, performance and the Active Directory connector, especially with the Active Directory connector, you will see the performance improvement and so many things right. So that is, they know how Sailpoint is. Leader in the market. Let's keep, innovating and improving the major issues. Still, there are a lot of issue, but that is applicable to Sailpoint also. That is applicable to all the IM solutions. IVM solution. They have a lot of bugs. So, for example, news are joined today right for the news that we created account here in the Windows application. So same account we will again aggregate back to Sailpoint, just to make sure that whatever attribute that we provided, that is our same. Because, see, when we create account on the Windows application right for a user, we will hardly pass few attributes, first name, last name, password, let's say email manager, only few details. But it is also possible that there are some process here in this system which is getting called and which are assigned, which are updating the attribute right. This is again a possibility. Let's say you assign first and last name email password to Windows system. Okay, you pass from the Sailpoint at a time of provisioning. Those attributes got saved here. Same time some process change triggered here or some manual activity performed here. Some person manually changed some attribute, right? How? Sailpoint will know that something got changed here, which is not present in the Sailpoint database. So again, we need to bring back same user, which account we provision. Just to make sure that everything is up to date in the Sailpoint database. Let's say a simple example. Okay, a user joined from a new employee joined. In the HRM system now we are bringing the data right. You see, the flow is one way okay. So news are joined in the Sailpoint. Right that the user got saved here in the Sailpoint database. Okay, as a part of joiner process, user got assigned this Windows application. Okay, right now, when we approval in the account, when we assign the application Windows application, that time, basically, what information we are passing. Username, first name, last name, that's it okay, so let's say, today you join, but what attribute? We passed from Sailpoint to Windows. We only pass username, first name, last name. Okay, now there's a process here in the Windows system Windows, wherever the Windows system is configured that will generate your email ID, right? And we also want to populate email ID here in your profile, right? So what we'll do? We'll run the aggregation again, which will bring all your attribute, the one which we passed and the one which created here, which will again, come back here and save our basically a bit on the same ID cube. Okay, so that's why we also run this aggregation from this application, just not for the provisioning purpose. Go to Application Definition. Add new application type here, Active Data. You see this. Okay, now you have to provide Active Directory System Information Connection parameter. When you do the aggregation, when you do the connection, when you do the provisioning, first Sailpoint, check the connection right. If Sailpoint is not able to connect to this application, right from Sailpoint to Windows, Sailpoint cannot do anything. It's like a system, a separate system. This is a separate system and this is separate system. No communication between these two systems, right? So in order to do that, we need to provide that connection parameter, save, so Sailpoint can make a connection and after that, once the connection is successful, Sailpoint can do, read, write whatever Sailpoint wants. So, simply, if I talk about the write, that means provisioning, read means aggregation.